Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video today, I'm going to solve problem 976, largest perimeter triangle. And this one is an easy problem. So despite the fact that it is an easy one, but I think it's pretty tricky because it has some constraints that would make it very, difficult. So the questions answers are the question is very simple. They are going to give us an array nums, okay, so an array of integers, and what we have to do that we have to return the largest parameter that we can form from three elements of this array. So basically, let's go to the example to have a look. So we have an array of 2, 1, 2. So we can only form one triangle that we have a size 2, 2, 1. So absolutely the largest perimeters would be equal to 2 plus 2 plus 1 equal to 5, right? So that's how we can find the largest perimeter from an array with a size of 3. And now for the second example, we're gonna have 4 elements. So the output is 0 because, as you can see here, we cannot form any triangles from those numbers. Like we cannot take 1, 1, 2 to form a triangle, 1, 1, 10, and 1, 2, 10 to form a triangle. So basically, in order to calculate the perimeter of a triangle, you have to ensure that these three numbers make a triangle. So how can we prove that the three numbers can make a triangle? It's very easy. So let's assume that we have let's assume that we have A bigger than B and bigger than C. So if B plus C bigger than A, so we can sure that these three numbers can make a triangle. So that's very simple, guys. So let's get back to the problems. So what makes it hard here is that let's assume that you have an array of very random numbers. So 5, 6, 2, 1, 3, 4, 7, 8. So the hard thing is that you cannot know which triplets would create a triangle. So for example, you have to choose like 5, 6, and then find another number, and then 5 and 6. Let's draw a triangle here. Oopsie, 5 and 6. Let's see. So if we want to create another a triangle, so we have to ensure that 5 plus 6 bigger than C. Let's see here. So 5 plus 6 is 11, and 11 is bigger than all of those. So we can say that if we have a triangle with two lengths like 5 and 6, we can choose any other element to be the rest. The final edge. So and it is when someone look at these questions for the first time, you're gonna say that, oh, so you're gonna have to create a combination of those trees. Of the size of the array, and then check if which one is a triangle, a valid is which one is a valid triangle. They would keep that one and then calculate the perimeter of it if valid. Oopsie. Then calculate the perimeter, and if they calculate the perimeter, they will compare with a temporary something temporary. If the P is bigger than TMP, then we have to update TMP equal to P. So that's how they think. But unfortunately, if you guys choose this approach, you guys gonna have a time limit error, because the step from we handle this one is a very gonna have a very big time complexity. And also it will check the valid and then calculate the B and then compare. So all those things are you give us a very big time complexity. So when I have a first look at these questions, the first thing I thought in my head is that I'm gonna do some mathematics to approach those kinds of problems. So what I think is that I'm thinking of something that is sorted. So for example, like I have A smaller than B, smaller than C, right? So I know that if A plus B is smaller than C, it's gonna if we have this one and we have this one, we're gonna ensure that ABC can make a triangle. So I'm thinking of this one, and then I have a look at this array, and I think that how about if we sorted this array? So basically, I want to sort it, but in descending order. I will let you guys know why I put in descending order. So let's say like 8, 7. Oh, the 8 is a bit hard to see. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So for example, we have this one, right? So we're gonna know that because this one is in a sorted order, so we're gonna have A smaller than 7, bigger than 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? Obviously, but I want to make it bigger. So let's assume that we have an array of k elements, right? So length equal to k, and this one is ak, ak minus 1. Oh wait, so k plus 1 is the correct one. So then ak minus 2, blah blah, then a0. So we can also know that because this one is in sorted descending order, so we're gonna have ak is bigger than ak minus 1, bigger than ak minus 2, bigger than blah blah, and then bigger than a0, obviously, right? So then I have a look again at the formula. So let's write something here. So a plus b bigger than c, and then a smaller than b smaller than c. So I look at the condition. So I see that also here, so perimeter will equal to a plus b plus c. So I want to create a sum of 3 random numbers. So then I have a look at this one. So we start from this basic thing, and how about if we add this one? So a plus ak minus 1 is absolutely bigger than ak minus 1 plus ak minus 2, blah blah, and then a1 plus a0, absolutely right. So what I'm gonna add is that I add this one. So because the ak minus 1 is still bigger than ak minus 2, and the ak is absolutely bigger than ak minus 1, right? So we still remain the same thing, but now I'm aiming for a 3 number, not 2 numbers. So what I'm going to add up is that I'm going to add another k. So add ak minus 1, and then ak minus 2, bigger than ak minus 1, ak minus 2, and then ak minus 3 is absolutely bigger than blah blah, a2 plus a1 plus a0. So I'm got here. Alright. So this is sum of 3 numbers. So I see that if this one also ensure that the condition, like if ak minus 1 plus ak minus 2 is bigger than ak, we can absolutely prove that this combination of those 3 numbers is gonna be the largest perimeter. Absolutely right. So that's how I come up with the idea. I did a little bit of basic mathematics, and I see the pattern. So let's get back to the problem here. So let's say we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So the only thing I'm gonna do here is I'm copy this one. Okay, so I'll put it here. Oh, where's the I can move this one up a little bit. Okay, so now from this formula, it's very easy to say that a plus 7 plus 6 is actually bigger than 7 plus 6 plus 5, and then 6 plus 5 plus 4, blah, 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 right? So now, as you guys can see that the length of them is 3, right? So you guys gonna have an idea of the sliding window, right? So the sliding window here is from A to 6, the first sliding window, and then from 7 to 5, and then from 6 to 4. So you guys can see that we just have to check the triplets of those three numbers, and then we sum it, and then we check the condition. If those two smaller are bigger than the other one, it's gonna can form a triangle, and also ensure that this one is the largest one. So it's very simple, guys. So now we can write some code, and I will show you guys. I will have a dry run so that you guys can have an idea of what I'm trying to say. If you guys cannot understand what I'm trying to say at the end until now, don't worry, because I'm going to code it out and you guys will know what I'm yapping about. Okay, all right, so I have put the code here. Okay, so let's say we have, before we do anything, we just have to sort the array in the ascending order. Very important, ascending order. Actually, you can sort it in the ascending order, but the condition down here is gonna be a little bit more complicated. I mean, it's not really complicated, but I think like it's just easier to starting with a 0. So first of all, you need to sort the array in a descending order, and what you have to do next is just to check the triplets. So if the other two smaller one is bigger than the first one, so you're gonna sure that the perimeter of this one is absolutely the biggest, because we start from the biggest one. We start from left to right, which we can ensure that this window is the biggest, is bigger than the next window and bigger than the next window to the left of it. So whenever we meet a valid perimeter, we also know that that is also the biggest perimeter, I mean the largest perimeter that we can find in this array. So many of you guys would agree with me that, how do you know that, like for example, why you just, they will ask me why I'm going to check the triplets and the window size. So 6 again. So first of all, I check A7. I mean, if A is bigger than 6 plus 7. So why I'm not checking 8 is bigger than 5, 7 plus 5 plus, I mean 7, and then 7 plus 4, then plus 3. So here's the important thing. So because the 7 plus 6 is the largest sum that I can find of two numbers after 8. I mean, after the left of 8. So because this is in the ascending order, so you guys can see here, I have also proved it as well. So the 7 plus 6 is also the consequence of this one. So because the sum of the pairs that is just directly to the left of the number above it, I mean, how to say that, to the right of it. So this one can ensure that this one is the largest sum. So because of that, you guys don't have to check if other elements are satisfied as well, because like if you know that this one is the largest, you can ensure that the left, I mean to the left, is also smaller than that, and that can ensure that if 8 is not bigger than 7 plus 6, how can it bigger than a smaller number of it, right? So, like, I'm not sure what I mean, but I'm hope that you guys can understand what I'm trying to say, is that we don't have to check the order pairs or anything with 8, because the 7 plus 6 is already the biggest one. So, that's how I come up with the idea and how I code it out. It's very simple. Despite the fact this is an easy problem, but I think it's not very easy to come up with a solution pretty straightforward like this one. If you guys come up with a brute force approach that you guys do a combination of choosing 3 random edges and then calculated perimeter, and then you guys get time limit exit, no worry about that, because I also got that, because I thought this is a very easy problem, but no, when I submit the problem I realized that, oh hell no, I have to do more math, and that's how I come up with the solution. And also for the time complexity of this one, so this sort is gonna take O n log n, and this one, this whole for loop, I'm gonna take O n. So in general, it's gonna be O n log n. All right. So basically, I forgot to tell you guys that at the end we have to return a 0 here. It's because the questions ask us to return 0 if there are no possible triangle. So we just have to return 0 in the end. All right. So yep, that's all for this video. Thanks everyone for watching till the end. See you guys again in other videos.